Hi, this is a video response to Thomas from Sweden. So first off, thank you very much for the great words about the channel and the fact that I contributed to you starting your own channels. That's always really nice to hear, and really appreciate it. Also, appreciate the great word about the mage game we had in fall. I had to quit that game, and it was just too bad, just because my whole life and world went really crazy about that time. But anyway, so I want to give you a video response to your inquiry. But first off, you finished the video talking about the Stargate game, and you felt that the system was a little too crunchy, and you were considering using another system somehow. I strongly recommend you to take a look at Shock, because you said you wanted something more story driven. Shock is a sci-fi role-playing game that is really like a story game, and it does sci-fi well. So maybe you should take a look at that. Look for the first edition, the orange one. All right. That being said, your question about Burning Wheel is a classic question. Um, Writing beliefs in Burning Wheel and understanding the relationship between the bits, the belief, the instincts, and the threats is crucial, is fundamental, and it's something that takes time. The formulating, phrasing the beliefs. Sorry about that. Phrasing the belief, finding the good way to construct the sentence is key, and it takes time. It's something that comes with the more you play, and I mean, even to this day, I can't seem to find the right way to write beliefs. So the good news is that in the codex there's gonna be there's gonna be a nice section where they go about describing how to phrase good belief and what a good belief is versus what a bad belief is, because there is bad belief, there is a bad way to construct a sentence, to phrase it. So and there's some really good way to do it. There's many. So the good news is that in the codex they're gonna have a section discussing that, and that's nice because years has passed since Burning Wheel Gold, and the section in Burning Wheel Gold is kind of short. It falls kind of short, and I have the I have the chance to have the adventure burner in my possession, and in the adventure burner there's a whole chapter about belief, and this chapter is I think you can find it online, actually, this chapter, because it's so important. I think there's a PDF somewhere, someone scanned it. But anyway, the codex will do that job. So here's my answer to your question. Your question was, how do you write good belief in a way to make the characters not go in individual directions, because the thing is that if you have, let's say, for example, you have four characters or four players, and they write, individualistic beliefs, and they go in their individual direction, and nobody stick together, kind of thing. It can become cumbersome, and it can become frustrating for the players and the GM, and the whole situation can fall apart because the nothing sticks together somehow. Well, there's many ways to go about that. One thing I strongly recommend you to go on the forum, Burning Wheel forum. And you will find an answer to your question there. but you can also just ask the question and people will help you out. But what I strongly recommend is that all the characters, players write beliefs about each other. Really, really important. So the beliefs are divided in three kinds. You have the goals, which is like a pragmatic purpose, pragmatic purpose that is, I want to do this and that because for that reason I need to do this and that, and always separate the sentence in two parts. Like there is an affirmation about something. So if it's a goal, it's like I need that sword. And then you have an explanation because that sword is this to me. Never write belief like I want X. This you need some imply. You need to have something implicit about it, and this is why you want that separation. I want that sword because that sword is this and that. I need to kill the king because the king is this and that. And all the beliefs needs that structure. So the first one is a goal. The other one is uh, we is it's like a social belief kind of thing. We What we do in our group is that we write a belief about another player, about another character. So by writing a belief like I hate the dwarf and I will show him this. I hate the dwarf because the dwarf does this and that. By writing a belief about another player, they stick together kind of thing. So it creates that circularity between the character. And the last one is a philosophical belief. So this is like a moral belief or an ethical belief about the world and about what's good and bad. So it's an abstract one, and this one basically sticks on the sheet for a long time because it's also called a fate mine in the sense that it gives you fate points. It's just the way you behave, like um, laughter is important in life because we live in a world of pain. You see, so in that belief you have two things that imply the world is shit and we need to have fun. And so one belief and allows you to flesh out character a lot. So by having these ethical beliefs, these moral beliefs, well, it also helps the character to discuss with one another because let's say for example another guy in the group has a belief that goes something like this. The world is worth saving, so we shall do good, something like that. Well, it kind of contradict the other character's belief, so they're gonna have discussions about that. So all these things. So I would the way to make the belief kind of stick together. That's one way. It's all the character needs a belief about another one, and make sure everybody's connected. So let's say for example you have A B C D character A B C D. A has something about B, B has something about C, C has something about D, D has something about A. So they all have something. They all have a belief about one another, so nobody is alone, and therefore they're gonna have to interact with one another. That's one thing. Another thing is if you prep a lot, you can have everybody having a belief about the situation. So situational belief. So for example, they start in a city where the king is dead. Everybody needs a belief about the death of the king. So it's not gonna be the same belief. None of them is gonna have the same output. But that's a way. If you prep a lot and you create situations and all that, make sure everybody has a belief about that situation. So that's another way. So imagine they have they all have a belief about the situation. They all have a belief connected to one another. It starts to stick together a lot, isn't it? And another way, you can even be more drastic than that. You can say, okay, so here's what the adventure is going to be about. So you need to have a belief about that. So you create an X, and they all need a belief about that. So it's not necessarily an abstract situation whatsoever, like a political situation or whatever, but it's like this is something we need to take care of. Whatever that X is, everybody needs to believe about that. So that's another way to do it. So so here's a couple, these are a couple of tricks on how to do that. So I recommend you try them out. And so it was nice meeting you. I hope we're gonna have some more interaction in the future. Thanks for giving me a topic to talk about. All right, talk to you soon.